morning and welcome to STEAM Camp. My name is Miss Ashley. I'm a librarian with the San Mateo County Libraries. And this is my daughter Lily, who's going to be helping me today and with all of our STEAM programs that we do on Tuesday mornings at 11 for the month of June. And this is all part of the Summer Learning Challenge. So if you haven't signed up for the Summer Learning Challenge, go right now or right after this program to summerlearners.org and sign up. It's really easy, and you have a chance to win $1,000 college scholarship, so make sure you do that. All right, let's get started though. Today we're going to be building a fort. We're going to give you a bunch of ideas about how you can build a fort in your house or around your house. Before we start, what is a fort? Have you ever been to a fort in real life? A fort is usually a kind of a protected building. It's usually a military building where soldiers would be, and a place that would keep them safe. So usually it has very thick walls and sometimes other ways of being protected. So I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of forts in real life. One of them is really close to here. It's up in San Francisco. It's called Fort Point. You may have been there before. This is a really neat picture. If you look at it's taken from the Golden Gate Bridge up here, looking down, and you can see how thick these walls are. So this was a very safe building to be for if you were a soldier. Another example is a fort that's in France called Fort Boyard. This one is, you can see, in the middle of the water. So not only does it have very thick walls, but it's also surrounded by water, which is something that's going to be very hard for you to do in your fort. But what is a fort that you build in your house? Well, there's so many different ways to build one, and that's the beauty of this project. We've got an example behind us that Lily built. She's built a lot of forts like this in our living room. But you can build a fort in any space around your house, in your bedroom, in a closet, outside, in a tree, all kinds of different types of forts. But the forts that you're building are also protected spaces, but they're also fun. So these are places where you would read or have a snack or have a little time away from your little brother or sister and your grown-ups and just hang out. So that's the kind of fort we're going to be building today. Before we talk about building the fort, though, we need to learn about engineering, which is a really big word that means problem solving. So our problem is we want to build a fort. How are we going to do it? And using the design process. There's a lot of different ways of describing the design process, but we're going to use the one from the Bay Area Discovery Museum up in Sausalito. They break it down to the 3 really easy steps, and they are think, make, and try. Can you remember that? Think, make, try. And so we're going to teach you a little song so you never forget those 3 steps. It's to the tune of The Wheels on the Bus, and we're going to do the signs for think, make, and try in sign language. So think is pretty easy to remember. You just touch your head, you're thinking. Make, you put your fists together like you're doing 1 potato, 2 potato, and then turn them this way, like you're using some kind of a tool. So let's make. And try, you put your fists with your thumb sticking in, and then scoop your thumbs up like that. That's try. So let's do think, make, try. So let's try the little song. We'll go slow. We are engineers, so we think, make, try. Think, make, try. Think, make, try. We are engineers, so we think, make, try. That's how we design. Got it? Let's try it one more time a little bit faster. You ready? We are engineers, so we think, make, try. Think, make, try. Think, make, try. We are engineers, so we think, make, try. That's how we design. Good job. Now you'll never forget that engineering, that design process, think, make, try. So how are we going to use it when we make our fort? Well, you might think it'd be more fun just to jump right in and start building. But if you want to make your fort everything that you'd like it to be, it's best to ask yourself some questions first. And for this, you might even want to go get a piece of paper or a little notebook and write down your ideas or draw some pictures. And the things you want to think about are, where am I going to put my fort? Well, Lily's fort is right here in the middle of the living room, which is very accessible. She can get to it very easily. The problem being that she has used all of our dining room chairs and also all of our living room and our little house. So anytime we want to eat dinner or lunch, we have to take it all apart so we can get our chairs back. And anytime we want to watch TV, we have to move it out of the way. So that's something to think about, is where am I going to put my fort where it's kind of out of the way, if you want to have that kind of fort, especially if you want kind of a secret fort. But you want to look around your house for some spaces that you could use, whether it's in a prominent place like the living room, or in a closet, under a table, under a big chair. You can even, if you have a space in your bedroom, you can stretch a string from one corner to another and put a blanket over it. So think about the spaces that you have in your house or in your yard or your basement or your garage, any place that you can use that you think could be good for a fort. And then the other question is, what materials do I have? Well, Lily, what did you use for yours?
So I have 3 blankets and I used 5 chairs. Mm-hmm. And inside I have 2 walls, which I'll talk about later. And I used hair clips.
Ah, she's got 2 hair clips, barrettes here holding the blanket up to make kind of an opening.
Yeah, it's like something you could think about. You could like take some kind of clip or like just something to attach the blankets together and just form it the way you want.
Mm-hmm. So you could have used like clothespins or chip clips or something like that for that part. Blankets are often used in a fort. I'm going to show you a couple of the other examples of forts that people have made, so you can get some more ideas. Let me go back to our fort in France here, and let's look at some of it from kids in other places. This is an outdoor fort made out of sticks. So you can see she took long sticks. This is kind of a complicated one where it looks like she stuck her sticks face going up and down and then put some across the top. She must have found some way to hold this all together, which would be a little tricky. But you could make something out of sticks outside or a tree, or if you live in a snowy place, which we don't, you could make something out of snow even. Some people do that. This is probably the most common type of house fort. This is a couch fort. So they took a couch and then behind it, they put some chairs, just like Lily's fort, and then they just stretched a blanket across the top here, and then they can go inside under there. Some people even take this kind of couch and use these big cushions to make walls with, and you can even, and then stretch a blanket across the top, and that's a different kind of a couch fort. And this is one made out of cardboard. I don't know about you, but we have a lot of cardboard boxes around the house right now, so we've even been building forts for our cat. This is a 2-story fort for our cat. You can see her sleeping on the first story there. That's our cat Petunia. So cardboard is a really fun thing to build with too. So those are just some ideas. So look around your house for the things you can use. You might want a blanket. That's probably one of the most common things that people use, or pillows or cardboard. Or anything you can think about. So just look around, use your creativity, and once you've done your thinking process, it's time to make the fort. This is kind of the fun part, but also the challenging part, right?
Yeah.
And that's when surprising things can happen. So what's something surprising that happened when you were building a fort?
So I noticed that the cat was like trying to find some place to like hop on, and she saw this, and she thought this was kind of like some kind of a table or something, and she jumped on it, which, of course, it couldn't support her weight, so
it fell down.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can have surprising things happen with pets, or sometimes just your design isn't quite right, so things don't hold up the way that you think they're going to hold up at first. So this part of the process can be a little bit frustrating, but it's also the part where you learn the most. So pay attention to the things that are challenging and the things that surprise you, and think about what you can do differently next time. And then the third part, which is the fun part, is
Try.
try. Can you show us how you go in your fort and try it out? So when you're trying out your fort, you want to ask yourself, do I like this design? Is it easy to go in and out of? Does it have enough space?
I find that this type of design kind of has a good roomy area.
Yeah, so Lily, in doing her think, make, try over and over again, has decided to make bigger and bigger forts, so she has more room to stretch out in there. So the try part is also where you learn things, and you think about what you might like to have in your fort next time, or what you want to add to it now. This is the part where you can bring in all the supplies that you want in there. So if you want to bring your toys, or your dog, or a snack, or a book, or a flashlight. And if then you want to invite people to see it, look at my fort. Well, this is a secret fort, in which case you might not want them to see it. So the try part is the third step, but the fun thing about the design process is it doesn't have to end there. You can start all over again and think about what you're going to do next time and make a new fort that's either a little bit different or entirely different. I mean, the beautiful thing about the design process is that you always learn something from it, and you get to try lots of new things every time. So Lily's going to show you a little demo of her fort. And did you want to show them something that you learned?
Yeah. So you can like experiment with taking some kind of thing and adjusting the height or the length or the width.
So you're putting a walking stick in there to kind of make it more like a tent inside.
Yeah.
So it's got a higher ceiling.
And now for the tour.
Okay.
So inside, I have, like, as you can see, 5 chairs. But in the back, you notice those walls?
Can you lift it up a little higher so they can see back there?
I got that. So one thing you should probably think about is, like, the right area to put the blanket. Like, you have to kind of drape it to the side if you want to make it a little bit more cozy. And have, like, a little wall. So, basically, what you do is you just drape the blanket on top, but make sure there's a little hanging down.
Not to make your walls in the back.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
and on the outside, I clipped on 2 hair clips. So you pulled it up.
You got some decorations there too.
Yeah, you could just take pictures and cut them out, and I also took hair clips, and I attached these to the hair clips onto the blanket fort. I have pictures of cherries because I get hungry.
Do you bring cherries in there too?
Yeah, it's nice eating cherries in there.
So what kinds of things do you like to do inside your fort?
Well, for one thing, eat.
Ah.
It's fun having food.
Oh,
Everything's
it's so
more enjoyable with food. And I sometimes just like sitting down with a snack and a drink and like maybe draw.
Uh-huh. And what would you build if you could build any fort in the world? What would you use and where would you build it?
I would probably build it outside and like lay down a carpet and then kind of make this kind of design. So it's kind of like an outside tent or like a house or something. And I want to make it pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like roomy for outside. Because outside you have a lot more space.
True, and it can be a lot more permanent too, I guess.
Yeah.
Instead of in the middle of the living room. All right, well, we've shown you our fort. We would love to see the forts that you make. So the last thing I'd like to ask you to do is to share pictures of your fort with us. If you could get your family to help you post pictures of your fort on Facebook or Instagram with the tag @SMC Libraries. That will let us know that you've got something to share with us. And the hashtag SMCL Creates. We would love to see pictures of your forts, and we'd love to share them in our future programs.
I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, we can't wait. We'll get some ideas from you too. So we hope we've gotten some ideas about how to make a fort in your house or around your house. And I hope you will all go to summerlearners.org and sign up right now for the Summer Learning Challenge. Now, we'll be here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. in June for the more STEAM Camp programs and
So
ideas.
if you want to like see like some other crafts and ideas, then you should go watch the videos.
Yes, so we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us.